Hi, it's Dwyer. It's Wednesday, October the 3rd, 2018, in the morning. GamblersAdvisory.com, a free site. BettingAngle.us, a free site. Let's talk about Week 5 of the National Football League season, 2018. But first, remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, first, let's start off with a point spread pick. Let me just, full disclosure, I feel this team's underrated, but they lost last week in an earlier point spread pick. I like the Giants. That's right, the team that hasn't scored 30 points in quite some time. I like the Giants getting 7 points at Carolina, right? Giants getting 7. Lines moved up. It was 6.5. You know, last week the Giants played the New Orleans Saints at home, where they were an underdog and did not cover. But in that game, interestingly enough, Drew Brees, who set the record for the most consecutive games with a touchdown, did not throw for one last week. The Giants also shut down Michael Thomas, who was having a great year. Right? He didn't catch a touchdown. His numbers were depressed. I think this Giant team, the defense, the one that other pundits are ripping because they're giving up a lot of yards per carry, rushing, I think this Giant defense is underrated. Let me also point out, too, that offensively, the Giants are just too blessed. It's only a matter of time before they break out. We're talking about Saquon Barkley, we're talking about Shepard, we're talking about Beckham, and yes, we're talking about Eli Manning, who last year had numbers comparable, within range, of Matt Ryan. I think the haters are out a bit too much on the Giants. I like the Giants to cover against the Carolina Panthers. Let's continue. You know, I understand this team is coming off of an overtime game, and I understand there are a whole group of gamblers who don't touch teams coming off of overtime games, right? Win or lose, because the next game they seem to be a little bit flat. But I like the Oakland Raiders getting 5.5 points on the road, if you want to call it that, against the Los Angeles Chargers, right? I'm not sure if the Chargers have a home field, but officially this is a home game for the Chargers. Right now, just understand, Oakland's numbers are depressed because they've played a very tough schedule. They're also going through the growing pains of having a new head coach for this season, right? John Gruden's won a Super Bowl. He's certainly coached before. He's coached the Raiders before. But he took a hiatus from coaching, right? He's new to these players. Well, let me just point out the offense right now is clicking. 27 first downs against the Cleveland Browns, who themselves are underrated. David Carr last week threw for 437 yards. You heard me right. The team had 565 total yards. Now, they're going up against a familiar divisional opponent, right? They play the Chargers twice every year. I don't think they're going to be surprised by what the Chargers are offering, right? I like the Oakland Raiders. I think the line is too high, especially for a divisional game, right? I like the Raiders here getting 5.5 points. Let me also say, too, if you want to double your pleasure, let's offer an extra pick. Raiders are an offensive juggernaut. The Chargers are an offensive juggernaut. I like the over 53.5 points. I agree, 53.5 are a lot of points. But I see two gifted offenses here. I'm expecting the points to rain on the scoreboard even a week after Oakland played in an overtime game. I like the over 53.5 points in the Raider-Charger game. Next, I like the over 41 points. Is that low enough for you? I like the over 41 points in the Arizona Cardinal at San Francisco game. Josh Rosen is a big-time upgrade over Sam Bradford. Understand? Rosen, last week, right, first career start, throws no picks, throws for a touchdown, throws for 180 yards. This guy is a gifted passer. I watched him throughout his college career, right? Also, the number of first downs weren't too bad for a first-time outing. 18 first downs against Seattle. Now, the Niners, I'll just put it to you this way. C.J. Beathard last week threw for 298 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. They had 22 first downs last week. 22, right? I get the feeling that the teams are going to score more than 41 points, which is a very low over-under, right? You got 2 quarterbacks who can air it out. You have an offensively minded Kyle Shanahan running the San Francisco 49ers, right? Their offense is clicking. I believe it's just a matter of time before Rosen starts clicking. I like the over 41 points in the Arizona at San Francisco game. Let's talk about a money line play I like. I like Tennessee at a minus 190 over the Buffalo Bills. I'm staying away from the point spread simply because it's a road game for Tennessee. Tennessee's coming off an emotional win, and the game's, 3.5, that hook scares me, right? So I'm just going to take Tennessee on a money line. Let me just say, Buffalo just got shut out, folks, shut out by the Green Bay Packers. Right? Buffalo has a rookie quarterback. Let me just say, too, Tennessee, good record. This is the tough part of their schedule, and they're doing well. Think about it, right? Passing game is clicking, 344 passing yards last week. Marcus Mariota, 99.4 quarterback rating last week, right? The catch here is that Tennessee, like Oakland, is coming off of an overtime game. So there's going to be a little cause for concern there. But I believe after a flat first half, I think Tennessee kicks it into gear. Folks, this team is doing well. Looks like they're on the path, dare I say it, for the playoffs after this start, right? Don't be fooled. In my opinion, the line should be a lot higher than 3.5 points. Don't be fooled by Buffalo's miracle game against the Minnesota Vikings, the game before this game in which they got shut out, right, last week. I don't think Buffalo is that good. It's just not working for them right now. Josh Allen's undergoing growing pains. The offense is anemic. I'm expecting Tennessee to win that game on a money line. Those are the plays I like. I hope you leave the plays you like in the comment section to this video, as well as any plays you want to group together in any kind of parlay situation. I try to stay away from parlays. I'm more of an individual game bettor. But that shouldn't stop you from leaving your ideas here on YouTube in the comment section of this video so other gamblers can take a look. Thanks for stopping by.